here to address a concern that some of my students, you know, aired out. And what is it exactly? Some of them say that they've been so discouraged about acquiring vocational skills, like I talk about on this channel, because their mindset of acquiring skills like tailoring, cooking, beading, shoe making, bag making, etc., has been that it's the occupation for those who do not, who are not opportuned to be gainfully employed. And I told them that yes, that was once upon a time, that was the notion or mindset of most people, because as at then, that was, the alternative for those who were looking for jobs and couldn't find. But as time goes on, or as time went on, history has it that those people who actually learn vocational skills happen to even earn more than those who are privileged to have a white collar job. Now, this is why. You see, when it comes to vocational skills, especially when you are educated, you happen to be opportuned to get into this craft with an intelligent mindset. One thing you must know: business is all about the way you craft it, the way you present it. And that's where branding comes in. Now, have you ever wondered, I guess you have, why there are some people who learn tailoring and they happen to make it more than some people who also learn tailoring? Well, there are some people who learn bag making, shoemaking, cooking, and they are making it more than others. For instance, the mama put beside the road or on the streets that sells food, and those who have eatery houses. Come on, those who have eatery houses, their plate of food is far much more expensive than those who are on the roadside. Now, let's look into it much more closely. Those who have eatery houses, the condition in which those houses are, it actually portrays or gives comfort, luxury, than when you sit by the roadside. Now, in business, there's something called customer avatar. That is, who are your target audience? So, you are the one that decides when you actually know what business is all about, what is expected of you. Before you venture, before you come out, you will sit down and think about these things. Now, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to answer the question my students, asked. Like, as they said, they thought that learning a vocation is something that had to do with those who are not privileged to have a white collar job. So it was just seen as a menial, something, just something by the side, nothing important. And I'm trying to show to you here, listening to the sound of my voice, because I think this is one of the setbacks for people who maybe want to actually learn vocational skills, but they are discouraged because they don't know how the society will see them. For instance, my mother, when I was learning tailoring, I actually hid learning tailoring. Like, I hid it from her for 1 year because even though she, as I was growing up, she spotted that I'm someone that loves, hand skills, handwork, and she did her best to send me, you know, to go learn these things. But as I grew up, I came from a family who is educated. I had to go to school. I had to educate myself. So as time went on, all those was put at the back burner. But as I grew up and I began to, listen to the sound of, or should I say, listen to me and listen to what makes me feel fulfilled, more fulfilled, I, you know, realized that it's the skills that I have. So that doesn't mean, I'm pushing my job away. Of course, life has made it that, or should I say destiny has made it that the job I'm doing is actually going to complement, or should I say complements, my skill acquisition, digital marketing, content creation, knowing how to conceptualize ideas, present it to your audience, and in business, make them to buy or make them, to follow you. However, your goal is, or whatever your goal is. So at some point she was like, is it tailoring you now want to do? You mean all the school fees I've given to you, or I paid for your tuition, you now want to throw it away because you want to start learning how to, sew? It didn't come to her, like she didn't take it lightly, because she wanted me to maybe be a doctor, or maybe be, all this profession that, in quotes, is respected. But that's not my calling. That's not my calling at all. I don't find fulfillment in those things. Back to what I'm trying to say. Now, the reason is because so many people in this vocational skill acquisition, the way they present it in a way that is very, very, very unattractive. So, if you want to get started with wealth creation using skills you've learned, you have to have certain things at the back of your mind. You have to be business educated. What do I mean by that? For instance, as a teller, you decide the kind of audience you want to attend to. Do you want to attend to people who are, there are three classes of citizens. So there are those in the first class, second class, and the third class. So to say, there are those that are of a higher class, there are those who are of a lower class, and there are those who are in the middle. It's not profiling, it's just how life is. Yeah. So you now have to decide, who actually do you want to attract to your business? That is the basics. If you do not get that settled, I'm sorry, you will not succeed with vocational skills. So by the time you decide that, okay, I think I want to attract middle and high class customers. They are the ones that will have the money to pay me for my value. Now, don't forget, handcraft skills are high ended skills. Should I put it that way? How should I put it? They are of high value because of the time you take to craft these things, your creative power. So they are always placed at a premium. It's those that don't understand that their time, they need time to put into this craft to bring out the best. And those who are just looking for, what to eat, that will belittle the craft, and maybe, like sell it at a very cheap price. But if you watch closely, those crafts don't come out the best. Yeah, those craft don't come out the best. Those craft that, the people take time to actually pour in their best into it, it's always very luxurious. Yes, agreed. There are some people that go to the extreme with, charging for the value they have to offer. But hey, it's the way I was taught in business is, it's like an ocean. So you come in there and get your share. The main thing is give value. Your target audience will find you. So when I got started with my food business, I started in a very humble way. I started on the streets actually, because that was what I that was the space I had to, bring this idea to the world. I was tired of always thinking about it, and imagining how it would be. So I just told myself, no matter where I find, I just want to bring this thing out to the world. Let people get to have a taste of my meals, and let me sit back and get the reaction to confirm that yes, what I think about my cooking skills is true. Which of course is people that have been telling me, oh, your meals are very, very delicious. Your meals are homely. Your meals are medicinal. So I wanted to hear that from a larger audience. So I started by the on the roadside near a school. And yes, I got the feedback, but I knew that the kind of customers that were coming to me were not going to help me to build this cooking business into a very high standard business. And of course, I'm looking at, the eatery house standard. So what did I do? After a while, I paused. I paused the business. I had gotten the feedback I wanted, and I started strategizing. So, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to wrap up here. I think I've said so many things, but I'm trying to wrap up here. The summary of this is this: if you have a calling, because this thing is everybody cannot, be interested in learning a vocational skill. Everybody can't. I mean, God is so generous and so faithful. He puts into this world people, and He gave everybody the need that another person has need of, or should I say, He gave everybody the solution of other people's needs. If I am sewing clothes for people and every other person is sewing clothes for people, who's going to take care of my feet? My feet need shoes. If everybody is doing producing shoes, who's going to take care of my handbags? Who's going to take care of my hair? Who's going to take care of my feeding? Who's going to take care of, organization of things? Everybody can do the same thing. But hey, God is so faithful. Each and every one of us are destined to do something. So if it's inside of you, if it's innate in you, when you see this thing, something in you like, I love this, I want to do this. Yeah. So if you see people who are successful in building their craft into something the world admires, and you have that innate desire in you, do not do not push it aside. Do not let activities of life make you to ignore it, because one thing is certain: you will not be fulfilled in life. Yes, and there is no need for you to feel unfulfilled in life when God has given you the ability to be fulfilled in life. I am very passionate about educating people about the significance of what they do. And on this channel, for you who is interested in vocational skills such as what I present here on this channel, then, and you've not yet started, because I'm actually after beginners, you've not yet started, what is stopping you? If you are actually like some of my students who had this mindset that vocational skills is just something to do by the side, because it's something that is not you can't depend on, then I'm sorry to tell you that that's a lie. The only thing I would say is you need to learn the skill of business, how to develop a business idea, how to present it in a way that it is valuable and can meet the needs of humanity. I always tell my students, learn a skill that is evergreen. Go into a business that is evergreen. Some people go into business for just looking for what to eat. Again, I do not blame them, because maybe certain circumstances pushes them into that. But hey, I'm talking to those who refuse to stay where, difficulties of life keep them. I'm talking to those who refuse to take things, remain with status quo. I'm talking to those who demand quality, who demand better things in life and go for it regardless of how difficult things are. The woman talking to you here, if you know the challenges I've gone through, I'm not supposed to be in your face talking to you. So if I have overcome all those challenges and others who overcame them and pushed me and made me realize I can also overcome mine, it's like a relay race. I'm also here too, telling you, listening to the sound of my voice. Hey, if you ever desire to have a skill, even if you are working, you can still do these things by the side. It's just about, you planning your day. Even if you spend an hour a day investing in that skill that you long to, acquire, before you know it, give yourself 6 months. You will be very good at what you do, and you'll be surprised that you are good at what you do. If I have the skills and I'm still even brushing up on them, because as I said, life activities got me so busy, I put those things at the back burner. That is, I put them aside. But self personal development let me know that, hey, this is what I'm called for. I derive joy teaching people these evergreen skills. Evergreen skills are skills that will never run out as far as humanity is in existence. And there are those who have, higher priority than others. For instance, the feeding, the food aspect. Pandemic or no pandemic, if you don't eat, you will die. So no matter what it is, people will look for how to eat. So if you are into that business of food, it must not necessarily be food, snacks, drinks. You are in for a kill, cash kill. That is to say, wealth generation. You can even make a wealth generation from just one skill. So to wrap up my story, as I always like to do, because my aim is to encourage you. Yes, I teach these skills, but if you do not know why you should learn them, you may not be interested in even learning them. Why you should learn a skill, a vocational skill, no matter what you do, is because you have a deep desire to learn them. And you should know that you can actually build generational wealth from them. In my previous video, I said you cannot transfer your job to your children. You cannot transfer your certificate to your children, but you can transfer your wealth, your skill acquisition to your children. My grandmother actually was doing what I am doing. I grew up to see a catalog of crocheting projects with her. She was a tailor. She knew how to do hair. She did my hair for me when I was small. Around 80 something years, she was still doing mine. It was very neat. She was a good singer and all of that, a good cook. I learned my cooking skills from her. So, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that do not let the lies that learning a vocational skill is for those who are not ambitious in life, those who don't and are not going to be successful in life. It's not true. One thing you must know, and I'll close with this: when you serve people, you serve 1,000 more people who will pay you what you're worth than when you are, being paid for the value you can give to someone on a job. Maybe I've not said it so well, but what I'm just trying to say is this: when you have a job, you're paid as a unit. When you have a business that meets the needs of humanity, you are paid multiplied. That is, you're paid multiple times. You are paid multiple times for your value. So if you are feeding 1,000 mouths and a plate of your food is 3,500, and hey, do people eat every day? Yes. Can you get 1,000 customers in a day? Yes. You may not start off with that, but you can eventually get to that. Now, if you can, even if you can't feed 1,000, even if you feed just 100 mouths, 100 times 3,500. Please, you do the math. Until I come your way again, I want you to always have at the back of your mind that you should stop at nothing to pursue that which your innate desire is calling for. You can build generational wealth with skill acquisition. Learn a valuable skill today and learn the business of that skill. It's one thing to learn a skill, it's another thing to know how to monetize it and present it to the world for them to pay you what you are worth. It's like, come your way next time. It's bye for now.